So what do you do when you sell close to 800 units of this very model? Well, the answer is you make it better. And that's exactly what Saxdor have been doing with the 320 GTO, but it's been thanks to you guys, and thanks to your comments and your feedback, which has been in the hundreds, maybe even 1,000 notes, DMs, messages since 2021, when we first released this model on my channel. And thanks to Saxdor, who are a proactive organization, not a reactive organization. Benito. So they've been really actively seeking out feedback. They contact me regularly. Zachary, the man behind this design, he's on my WhatsApp every single time I'm on one of these boats. We have long phone calls and he wants to know what he can learn. And that's the sort of feedback that the whole organization is seeking. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you all the updates and the changes that have been made to the 2025 model. Because it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows in the 2021 model. I found problems and so did you, and that information has made it back to the factory, and that's what we're going to cover in this video today. But if this is your first look at a Saxdor, I'm just going to do a quick run around to give you a bit of a feel for this model and what this design can do for you. So if you're watching this video for the updates, I've put the information in the progress bar down below, and you can skip forward straight to the updates if you've already seen a Saxdor and you know what you're looking at. And yes, in the next video, we're gonna go for a burn. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna go for a drive here in beautiful Thailand. Hopefully you appreciate these backgrounds we've got for you today. And we're gonna actually take it out in some choppy water and really bash it around a little bit to give you a proper test. It has a very deep V hull and twin air steps. So it's designed to run hard, fast, flat without burning too much fuel and really chop up medium-sized waves, but also be good in offshore conditions, depending on how you treat and drive the boat. So this is something, if you want to come to a destination like this and you want to go places and transit at high speeds, I'm talking around your 30 knots cruising speed and get all the way up to that, you know, sometimes close to 50 knots, you can do that. You can do it safely, and then you can also entertain a reasonable amount of people, but there are sacrifices. So just looking up here on the bow, this is not your American style big voluminous bow with a flare. So what they're doing, they've got a very aggressive cutting angle at the front. It's taking that angle into the deep V aft. It just chops up the waves, but it doesn't allow us to have a massive sun lounge. So it's sufficient for two people. It's sufficient for a group of friends to sit around like this, and it also allows you to step off the bow because the gunnels are not so high. So if you want to beach your boat like this, totally can do. The anchor is actually hidden away on this particular design. So just pop the camera down here and have a quick look. That'll also give you a feel for the finishing on the inside. So you can see some of the foam coring and then solid glass. It's all vacuum infusion, which we're going to cover on in a second because it didn't used to be. But this is all very social. We got an escape hatch, speakers, drink holders, and then you've got windows down to the accommodation down below. And then because this is essentially a center console design, we have equal amount of space on starboard and port to access the bow and make your way aft. One of the great benefits of this design, particularly here in the tropics, is we have an immense amount of sun protection. So this roof is awesome. This is an upgrade since the original, so we'll cover that a bit later. And it provides a great handhold because of the design. It's actually a gutter. It stops the water from going on your shirt when you lean the boat over when you step on, but it's also a really good handhold. And you just go down the one step and then down another step into the helm area or the business part of the boat. We're actually on the joystick because, would you believe it, we're in 18 meters of water here today. We're probably 15 meters away from these beautiful cliffs, but it's really deep, so it wasn't practical to anchor. So this hull comes in a few different layouts, so you can have a fully enclosed cabin style, but the GTO is the popular one. It's very good looking, but we've got a suitable amount of wind protection, which you'll see in the sea trial, and then an excellent amount of sun and rain protection with this roof coming almost all the way out to the side, but not so wide that you bump your head on it when you go forward. So it's a handhold, and then your head's clear when you go forward, and then going aft, you've got clear passage as well. The driving station is comfortable, and that's got to be one of the real highlights of an adventure boat, particularly this 320. She's just a sweet size in terms of her length, having 2 engines, and the amount of people you can carry. This is a fun, enjoyable boat to drive. So if you come from a sports cruiser, if you've come from something that's maybe hangs its bum a little bit more when it gets up on the plane, and then you really do see a little bit of bow raise, this is not the experience you'll get on an adventure boat. It's going to be all sporty fun on something like this. So we've got twin screens, got all your boat systems, you got your throttles, you got your bow thruster, trim tabs, drink holders, phone charging, little glove box. Again, I'm going to cover this more in detail in the sea trial. And then we come straight back. We've got these beautiful adjustable seats, 3 people, and they've got the bolsters, will be comfortable there. But then this social part of the boat, it's multifunctional. So we actually have a Barbie station just here. Well, that's like a hot plates Barbie, whatever you want to call it, but cutting plate, sink, cooking, 3 drink holders, wide ones on either side, ample amount of storage in the middle, and then electric fridges both on starboard and port. So it really is your cooking, entertainment heart of the boat. But right now, as you can see, I can't get behind that, but that's okay. What they're doing, they've actually designed this in a way that you can utilize all of the available space. So when you are at rest, like we are now, you have these wings. So this just gives you another meter or so extra beam. People can pass around one another. So if you're here at the table, people are having a good time, someone could walk around you. You could set up some deck chairs or whatever you want to do, and obviously getting in and out of the water is quite fun. But this seat here will actually slide on tracks all the way to about this position. These backrests will actually move like so. So if you want to have everyone looking forward and enjoying the ride, if you need to work at the cooking station, you can. And then when you're in lunch mode, you can set it up so everyone's got lots and lots of space, but people can still leave if they need to get up and go to the loo or go for a swim by just folding that up. This table will also drop down, and then this one here, it'll actually turn into one massive sun lounge with built-in backrests at the back. So this whole thing will actually unfold out. This cushion goes on top of the table. It's a massive bed, 4, 5, 6 people even would be comfortable on this. And because of these flip-up backrests at the rear, it allows everyone to sit up should they wish, because you've also got those backrests forward. So with a couple of throw cushions, it's going to be a lot of fun, and you could still sit on the sun lounge underway if you wanted. We've got storage, we've got deep storage under the floor, we've got a great readily accessible storage area just under here, really good for all your toys, but also fenders and lines are probably more sensible here. Got a swim ladder just on this side, ample amount of space for a 32-foot boat to move around, and even these transoms here allows you to step off the back depending on how you're mooring the boat. You've also got access out the side here. So it's all very, very functional. You can see the roof finishes here, and we've got the removable shade cloths, which I'd suggest any warm climate you need to do that. But it's not just on deck. We can actually overnight on this boat. We've got sleeping for 2 and a toilet downstairs. So let's go have a look. So this boat has actually got air conditioning, which is great. So that's off the batteries. And come on down. It's a really awesome layout in the available space. So we actually have beautiful big bed here. This is an escape hatch. We've got some windows overhead, some windows to the side. They do have pop down or pull down blinds, and then we have a little bit of storage and a decent size head. So I'll actually just grab the camera and I'll show you guys, because that's the head compartment just there. So I wouldn't call it a wet head, but this door actually just boom boom. So hopefully that explains to you that you got complete privacy. But that's the quick walkthrough. Storage under the bed, bow thrusted, little seat there. You got your panel, even some storage, or access to the air conditioning down underneath those stairs. I think the next thing we're going to cover is all of the improvements and all the feedback from you guys. Okay, so I've got my notes for this. Erna, the CEO of Saxdor, actually helped me out with this information. And as I said, Zachary, I've been bullish on Saxdor, the brand, since day one, because I've known Zachary for over a decade when I was involved with his previous company, Axopar. He's a genius, he's a visionary, and he's just the guy who can always see 5 steps ahead, if you know what I mean. So when he rings me with an idea, not only will I think about it and go, crikey, that's spot on, but that's actually, you're 2 years ahead of yourself. He's just that sort of person. But what he is also constantly pestering me for, it's your feedback. It's you guys who've owned boats. A lot of you have been happy, but some of you haven't been happy. Some of you have found little annoying problems, and it's a boat. I'm here to tell you that happens in every single brand. It's all about how they deal with those problems and are they evolving. The fact that they've done close to 800 of this very model is just a sign that yes, Saxdor certainly are. But let's just crack into it. The first thing on my 2021 video, a lot of you commented how the original roof was wobbling a lot, and it was. That's why I do these tests and I show everything live through the drone, and it was wobbling a lot because they tried to get away with a single support. But what they've done since then is add this support just here, and I'm actually just going to show you. See how they've also welded in this piece here, so that stops a little bit of that movement, and we've got it joins here and here. So we did test this today on the way over in some short sharp waves doing about 30 knots. It has enough movement, enough flex to support everything, so it does a bit of this, but it doesn't actually contact with the windscreen. So it appears to be very well done, and it's night and day better than the original. The roof color was originally a black, and now it's been changed to a white. I know people like their black, especially in northern climates, but anywhere in the tropics and hot places, we would prefer the white. So that's a benefit for probably half of us watching. The R6 engines were replaced by the V8, so that's definitely an upgrade. The V8 300s and others are now on the option list, and they deleted the single 300. And Saxdor are guilty of this. All the Europeans have this obsession about not burning fuel, and we don't so much understand it in the rest of the world, but they always want to option a boat with the smallest possible engine to make it look like it's possible to run it that way. I sort of made that case back in the early days, but it's good to see they're just sticking with a sensible engine options. Twins to 200s up to the 300s, which I think is logical. It's already an efficient boat. It's such an efficient hull that the aeration produced by the air steps, the design, the weight, and the cutting ability of this bow means that you're not burning much fuel anyway, so don't worry about it. So the stereo was originally Fusion. That is now being replaced by the JL audio system. I know that's popular in America. The unit itself is just located down here, but yes, you can control it from the dash. So you've just got to cycle your way into here. I personally think that can be a little bit annoying sometimes, especially if you're in waves, because your fingers are going like that trying to touch a touch screen, but at least you can control it and you can get used to it. It's not the end of the world. The hydraulic steering for the motors was replaced with electric steering, so that facilitates with the skyhook as well, because then both motors need to be able to go left and right for that. The new layout. The original seats still did this function, but they were a little bit shittier. Basically, they were nowhere near as good as this layout. So these seats are more comfortable. They feel wide. I don't know if they technically are or not. And they just come in and have a look at the mechanisms. Look at this. They were the original model was a little bit of an afterthought, but this is a much better mechanism, much more solid. It's good to see all this stainless steel here. And yes, this layout design has changed from the original, so it looks, the styling looks a little bit different. The only thing that they haven't changed, I kind of wish they would, it's the tracks for this seat here. It's a two-man job to slide it back and forth. It's doable once you get the hang of it with the other person. It's fine. I would love to have this electrified or just some beefier tracks on ball bearings, because it's a little bit annoying when you're having to move it forward and aft. But again, once you set it up, that's probably the way you leave it for the day. Anyway, so the fabrics were also upgraded. So instead of Silvertex original, this is more like a marine leather now. So it's probably going to a little bit more hard wearing. You can just wipe the salt off, so that's pretty good. The standard hull and deck color change from to white. So this white is now the standard color, and the light grey is an option. They also introduced the Miami blue or the Florida blue as an option, which is super sexy. If you haven't seen it, I saw one in Cannes. It is absolutely gorgeous. Check it out. Also check out the blue upholstery, which I've seen on a couple of 320s. Absolutely gorgeous. Really, really nice. That's part of the new upholstery options. So the Flexi Teak was added as an option. So that's this decking that we're looking at. Night and day, if you're going to have a day boat, you don't want real teak. If you're in a hot climate, okay. If you're in a cold place where you winterize and you stick it in a shed, different story. But if you're anywhere, that I frequent, and a lot of you guys, because I can see you in the analytics, are in the hot places, you'd try and avoid it because it just creates work for yourself. This Flexi Teak's pretty good. It's been sealed all the way around the edges. You do need to watch, and I had plenty of this back in my days as an Axopar salesman. Flexi Teak, it's not perfect. Sometimes you can get water in or gaps underneath the Flexi Teak, which allows water to get in, and when you press your foot, you actually will see water squeezing out. And so that's a little bit of a letdown. I think that's more of an application issue rather than the quality of the Flexi Teak. But this one looks pretty good, and I suppose time will tell if that maintains, or you guys will tell me, because that's what this channel is all about. So the snap-on fasteners, this was something I spoke to Zachary about. Let's have a look up here. So they were originally basically, what do you call them? Press studs. Or plastic like press studs, which were kind of average, and some of them actually stuck to the glass, which they will come off. They don't last at all. You get a bit of salt in them. This system is much better. It's screwed in, and it's a little thing that goes on top, and it snaps on very nicely. And this system here for the deck is also, that's going to last. A little thing goes in there and slides across. Much, much better solution. I will say all of these European brands, you could say that for every mass market boat builder in Europe, the quality of the covers they use, it's good for a couple of seasons in somewhere like Australia or Thailand, but after that you're probably going to have to get your own covers built, because they're just not building material covers for our sorts of sun strength. But it is what it is. So the kill switches were added to the terraces. So over there on the starboard, that's a really good point, because it basically, you just got to hold your finger down on the lock and then you can operate the terrace. It's a bit of a safety thing, to be fair, so no little fingers or toes accidentally get caught when someone leans on a button and operates it without knowing. So that's a big safety thing, actually. Also, this mechanism used to be a manual turning thing, but now it's a button. So you just press the button, that undoes a lock in here. So you unlock, and then you do safety, and then you can operate the terrace. So much, much better from a safety and operational perspective to do it that way. The pin fender cleats. So it originally had the ones that you had to have a male and female piece to slot in. So it's just adding complexity. Now you just pull out. Can you see that? So a rope can just flock over, go over that, no problems. And also there's cleats. So we've got midships cleats forward, we've got bow cleats, and we've got stern cleats as well. So you're working with options. So there's sliders. This boat actually doesn't have it yet, but this is a point worth making. So we've got this beautiful rub rail all the way around the back and around the boat, but a bloody swim ladder just protruding. Which, if you have a little whoopsie, you're gonna hit the swim ladder, not the rub rail. So they've resolved that by adding some sliders that send the swim ladder in. Like I said, it's not been fitted to this boat yet. So that's a new addition. Again, that was something Zachary and I spoke about, and because that's just an obvious no-no if you have a whoopsie at the dock. The teak table is now gone. So again, this boat's got the teak table, but I believe as of about what has Ernest said here? As of July last year, they're now doing the fiberglass tables. Again, that's going to be much better from a longevity and a maintenance perspective, because they really are trying to put a lot of focus on you going boating and having fun with minimal fuss. And that's more time on the water is what adventure hulls and adventure boats is all about. So I think that's a sensible decision. So let me just get back to my... Oh yeah, so the stainless steel ski pole, we don't have it optioned on this boat, has been swapped out with a carbon fibre one. That would be located at approximately that location if we had it on this boat. The hand lamination, so that's a biggie. It used to be hand laminated hulls, now it's vacuum infusion. So if you don't know the difference, it's basically they put a big bag with all these tubes, and then they have a vacuum on one side and all the resin on the other, and it just pulls the resin through. So if you are hand laying it, they're very careful, it's been done for a long time, but you do expose the layup process to bubbles or air gaps, which in time can be less good, basically. But if you pull the resin through with a vacuum infusion, not only are you reducing the risk for bubbles forming, because you're really sucking that resin through, you're actually making a lighter hull. So it makes it faster, basically. So stronger, faster, better, good all round. So that's good to see that they have done that. So the aft deck gate design. So yeah, it's kind of just a fashion piece, to be fair, but it's cool. It's got glass, nice bit of stainless, stops your dogs falling in the drink when you accelerate. So I don't mind it, and will catch shoes if you've left them on the deck and you're doing 50 knots and you forgot to put your shoes away. So the plastic deck shower, again, I like that for our warmer climates. It's been replaced with a stainless steel one, better quality. I have actually used it today myself because I was hot and I jumped in and had a swim. Electric Revolution. I got no bloody idea what that is. Jump in the comments if you do. I've got no freaking idea. Electric Revolution. No, don't know. Glued fashion plates replaced with screwable fashion. Okay, so the logo used to be glued on, and I'm pretty sure it is now screwed on. That's better for longevity. Again, I saw that plenty of times in my Axopar days when the logos would fall off 6-month boats. So 6-month-old boats. So that's much better to do it that way. Double lithium batteries were reintroduced in 2023. So that's power and house in lithium. Great. That's all the go, and that's going to keep your weight down. Trim tabs have now been replaced by zip wake. Not sure if I like that. We'll have a play in the test. This one does actually have trim tabs. These hulls love a little bit of fast trim, and zip wakes can be slow on the response time. But then again, you can set and forget with zip wakes. So maybe there is a method to the madness there. Again, we'll have a play in the test drive. And the bow eye. So if you're trailering this boat was actually on a trail this morning. I know a lot of you Americans are going to be trailering your boats. They have beefed up the eye just up on the bow here, and hopefully you can see that there. So it's just stronger. It's kind of better looking as well than the original. So that's the list. I've been told that there are plenty of other little refinements, and I just love that Saxdor were happy to send me all this information. I knew half of it, And there's lots of other little tidbits that were new to me. And it's literally your comments, your DMs and your messages. I get so many of them these days. That's why I've merged over to Monect, because so many of you are wanting consulting from me, which I'm happy to do on Monect. And it's that information which helps me feed it back to the brands that will listen, because I tell you right now, most of them don't. Most of them want to project something to me and project to you and pay models and actors to say what they want, but that's not me. I'm just Dan Jones doing my boat life thing, unscripted, a little bit raw, and as you see, and I'm doing that deliberately because I want you guys to see the real thing as much as possible so you can just educate yourself. So yeah, I genuinely hope that was useful, guys. The next video is going to be the sea trial. It's blowing wind today, so we're going to have a good amount of chop around the corner. We've got some protected water where we are here, so we'll try it in both situations. We'll bring you along for the ride, and we'll see if things like the hand laminated hull versus the vacuum infusion makes a noticeable difference, and then we'll have a bit of a play and show you what we discover. Thanks, guys. Guys, the more of you who subscribe, the easier it is for me to get on the boats that you want me to test. So if you enjoy this content, please get on subscribe, share it with your mates, comment and like. The algorithm works in wonderful ways, but really it's the factories who want to see that evidence. So if you want to see more videos, subscribe.